Hi everybody, my name is Rhys Barber. I'm one of the audiologists here at Audiology Associates.
And my name is Taylor Green, and welcome to day 25.
Christmas Day! Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. There's two patients.
Two patients.
Two patients. Two foreign bodies.
Two foreign bodies.
We've closed it off with a bang.
With a bang. We got out with a bang this year. There we go.
First one is just your typical. You know, this is foreign bodies. This is more than likely what we tend to see foreign body wise.
We seem to have seen a lot of these in this month as well, haven't we? I've had a few.
Now this one was a bit of a strange one. Not a strange one. Patient actually didn't realise this was in the ear. They just thought the ear was, you know, building up the wax. Started to, you know, get some whistling from the hearing aid. So obviously came in to see us. And you could see from the very start, it looked like just a blockage of wax. But the wax had essentially started to cover itself over the front of that dome. And as it peeled away that front section of the wax, you could see behind it that dome was sat there. And yeah, patient was a little bit surprised when I said there was a foreign body in the
it was. It didn't look like domes. Normally, you can see like a leading edge of the part of the dome. You can work out this a dome. It's a bit like that one we had earlier on in Waxvent. It was turned in such a way that you looked in and thought, what is that? But it's we've seen quite a few domes recently.
No, it's a very sticky type of wax as well. This one, it is peeling away quite nicely, luckily. Now they can, I'm still croaky, sorry guys. So it was coming away quite nicely, to be fair. So we're just going to try and tidy up some of these little bits now around the edges here. Yeah. Take away these little bits here. Eardrum and everything's all looking intact and everything. Eardrum and the ear canal is looking very professional there. Eardrum and everything.
All the stuff that should be in the ears there. There you go.
There we are. I'm not overly concerned about these little sticky bits here because we're in that bony portion of the ear canal. So this, where we're actually working here, this is just a very thin layer of skin on bone, which is why it's so sensitive. So we're just trying to draw away. There we go. Just got a little bit of a peel there.
There we go. Nice.
Yeah, obviously didn't go any closer there.
No.
Same patient, the other side, absolutely fine on this side, you know.
Purely wax,
technically not fully blocked, can see the eardrum, but just purely for the patient's hearing aids, we opted to remove this this piece of wax as well.
Yeah. I think I've got a theory why there's the domes. I think that Christmas time tends to be when people are socialising a little bit more. So a lot of people, if they haven't worn their hearing aids for most of the year, they will tend to put them in around Christmas time. And I think that's what's going on. They haven't checked the hearing aids before they put them in. 3/4 of an inch.
Oh, 2 centimetres.
So the next one now, we won't tell you what this is to start with. You need to try and work out what this foreign body is because it took us a couple of minutes to work out what this was as well.
Now, this patient had been to see.
They've been here all over the place, haven't they?
Yeah, they've been to the GP. GP said build up a wax.
Hospital.
Been to
Audiology.
I want to, audiology for the hearing aids, and even they said a build up a wax as well. Which, I mean, looking at it, I wouldn't say worried, but when I felt the consistency of it, I thought, do you know, I don't actually know what this is. Yeah. And like I said, it did take us a little while because I think we both had a little go at this one because I really, really struggled at one point to actually.
And the patient was in a lot of discomfort with this but even before we started, they were having so much discomfort, and this is why they've been to the hospital, GP. Loads of people had taken a look in here and hadn't worked out that what this was. What it is.
Yeah, and I think we've tried a little bit of everything here to try and get this out. I mean, the idea, what we're doing here is just nipping over the top, trying to roll this forwards.
It's got quite a rounded. It's a completely circular object, so it means it's difficult to get a grip. There's no leading edge over the top, is there? And you can't really get behind it.
And you can see we've got some swelling to the ear canal as well, so that's not really helping here.
You'll see why in a minute, why it's so swollen up. This poor patient, bless him. And this has been going on for a while as well, and it wasn't like a recent thing.
No, this has been in there a good while, and loads of different drops have been in here. I mean, antibiotics I think have been in here at some point as well. Because I mean, to start with, just based on the history with, like, you know, the pain, the discomfort, and the sudden hearing loss, and you know, I really, to start with, I thought, you know, this might be a growth. I wasn't sure whether this was a growth, like a bony growth or something in the ear. I honestly really didn't know what to think to start with, but we eventually worked out that.
Go on,
with
Tim,
a
you
bit
can tell
of
them what it is.
No, I'm gonna wait until it comes out. But we eventually kind of worked out what it could have been.
And once we'd figured that out, we could then approach it a slightly different way, because we knew the size and shape of what it was. So, because the patient had no recollection, and you can see we've tried everything here. We've gone in. What have we done so far? Rosen inserter. So I think you were trying quite a bit before I came in as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I tried the Jobson horn as well. Didn't really do anything, to be fair. I thought it was going to go over the top, and I thought we'd be lucky with the rounded
angle.
edge.
But I think I came in and I couldn't work out what it was, and then you twigged while I was in the room what it was, and that meant I thought, right, okay, we can approach this slightly differently now, and we might be able to get this out.
Oh, I see.
You can see it's very red and irritated in there, and every time we move this, I think this is where I took over, I think.
Yeah. This patient, bless them, was in so much discomfort. I mean, they sat through this. It was difficult to sit through it for the patient, to be fair, because you could see any time we moved it, there was some flinching. There was a lot of, understandably, you know, there was a lot of discomfort here.
Yeah.
So
I did say to the patient, here you go, you can see this starting to come out now. We did a big flinch in a second because the patient was in quite a lot of discomfort. There was the flinch. So this is that foreign object. So
don't push it back in.
No, I know, that was my fear. I was gonna literally slot back in. There you go.
It is. That's wedged.
That is properly wedged. So I don't know whether you can make out what that is, guys. You might not be able to, but that is actually a battery. The patient had a battery stuck inside their ears, and in fairness, they'd thrown so many drops at it that it actually started to corrode the battery. So we've started to have a little bit of leakage of the chemicals from the inside into the canal, which was what was causing this amount of irritation. And you can see it just looks so messy. This
is the final sort of where we left it. It's still looking a little bit messy. I'm going to be completely honest, guys. You know, it's not a clean one. I've had to write pretty much an urgent letter back to the GP just to say, you know, can you please take a look at this? You know, we've had a battery stuck in this ear. There's, you know, potential of like corrosion in here. So yeah, we are slowly.
We're trying to get this out, but it's the difficulty you got here is there's so much irritation to that ear canal. There's no way that you're going to be able to peel that away effectively, is it? Because it's so red, inflamed, irritated. So much the reaction with all the chemicals and everything in there. There's
this patient's ear canal just in front of the eardrum actually goes very, very narrow as well. It's a very, very difficult one altogether, this one.
But after treatment, with the swelling that will have gone down in here, we can get back in and tidy anything else up that's in there then. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this was an experience, to be completely fair, because this is a brand new one for both of us. Really. Never experienced a battery.
I've seen battery covers. So with hearing aid batteries, you get little covers you have to pull out. I've seen battery covers in people's ear canals, but I've never come across a battery. I don't think I've ever come across. I'm trying to think back, even back to my NHS days. I don't think I ever came across a battery in somebody's ear. Yeah, we do get some odd, weird, and wonderful things that you find in people's ears, but that's probably. I think because it was so wedged, and I think because the patient had been to so many different practitioners, and nobody had really spotted that was a foreign body rather than just wax. And in fairness, bless him, the patient did have a few issues with memory, didn't he? So I think that, you know, even patient couldn't remember how that had got in there.
No. And again, it's, you know, it's technically it's easily done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just takes that split second.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is going right the way down to the eardrum. Really, you know, just a bit of a nasty infection, really.
Yeah. Because it's a mixture of all that debris that couldn't get past that battery that's accumulated back, plus all the swelling, plus the dead skin, plus all the chemicals that have been leaking into the ear canal as well. So that's a pretty potent mix in there, and you can see just how swollen the side. But now that, obviously now the battery's gone, that's going to make a massive difference. That initial discomfort the patient was experiencing, that's going to subside. But now with all this gone as well, and tidying all this up, and with a bit of treatment, within a couple of days, that'll look a lot better, won't it? Yeah.
And there was still a little bit of discomfort with this really deep section in the sort of recess area, but you'll see as we clean up a little bit more, you'll see just how kind of difficult it is to get to, because there's a few lumps and bumps we've got going on here. So we're just slowly trying to peel away all this kind of dead skin. Lots of inflammation.
There's tons of inflammation in there.
So the eardrum is literally just behind this material that we're taking away here. And I think this is actually the fine end that we're using. Yeah. So you can see how narrow that actually is there.
So you're hampered by the angle you can get in there with the swelling as well, aren't you?
Yeah, so I am, what's the word? Cautious about this little bump at the top here. I'm trying to remove this without putting any pressure on that. And when we can gently touch up against it with the side of the tube, but we don't want to press up against it. Patient, bless them, they were really, really kind of sitting there and taking most of this, to be fair. Because, I mean, you can sometimes see with these more difficult and uncomfortable ones, you can sometimes kind of see in the corner of your eye as you're trying to remove it, you can kind of see the patient almost like they want to move away. You know, their
face kind of gets a bit scrunched up a little bit as we're going along. Yeah, that's true.
So here we go. I think we're starting to uncover the eardrum a little bit here now. Yeah, very, very tricky to get to that last
bottom bit. It's not easy because you haven't got what we'd normally do is put a bend on the fine end so we can drop in over that little lump, that little sort of narrowing at the bottom. But because you've got that lump at the top as well, it means you can't get the angle to get down in there. So it's so hard to pull it through that gap. You did well there, fair play.
A little bit of a flinch there, and yeah, this is the point. I just sort of thought, you know, you can see where we literally just touched up against the side. There's a little bit of redness there now. So I've just said, you know, we're leaving that where it is.
You can see the corrosion on top of that battery there, can't you? All that brown on the top, that's where the battery got corroded. I think it's probably, like, if the patient's been given you Otex bicarb, I think it's actually reacted with the metal on the top there. Yeah, so it's caused a bit of corrosion. Not nice. Yeah. Nice one to round the ear off with, though.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So guys, this is our last video for 2023. So we shall return in 2024. I think it's more than likely going to be sort of towards the second week of January. We'll be back in for doing our videos. Gives us a chance to get back to work, get back into the swing of things. But thank you so much for all your support throughout this year, guys. It's been really appreciated. We do appreciate every single one of you for subscribing and following the channels, you know, and growing the channel again this year, which is absolutely phenomenal. So we're planning on having a storming year next year. We're gonna have a we got a few plans for next year. So guys, thank you so much again. Have an amazing Christmas. Have the happiest of New Year's, and you know.
From my family to yours, have a lovely, lovely Christmas.
Exactly.
And don't go over the top.
Yes, so yeah, take it nice and steady. Have a lovely time. So guys, that's it from me and Taylor. So for the last time this year, as always, guys, take care of yourselves.
Take care of your ears.
And especially take care of one another at this Christmas time. And we shall see you in 2024. Bye, everyone.
Bye.